Okay, today what we want to talk about is the division properties of exponents, okay? So when we have the division property of exponents, take a look up here at the example. It has 4 to the 5th divided by 4 to the 3rd. And if you think about it, we have 4 to the 5th is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, 5 fours. 4 to the 3rd is 3 fours. And remember, when we do this, these fours, those fours cancel out, those fours cancel out, those fours cancel out. That's how we end up with 4 times 4. Now, when we multiplied exponent or numbers with the same base with exponents, what we did is we added the exponents. What we're doing with this is we're actually subtracting the exponents. So 5 minus 3 would be 4 to the 2nd, which is the exact same as 4 times 4, and that's how we get our answer of 16. So to divide powers having the same base, the base in the case up above would be 4, or here the base in the example would be A. You're going to subtract the exponents. Power of a quotient property. Okay, so we have quotient of powers property, power of a quotient property. You don't necessarily have to memorize what the specific name of the property is, but what you will need to know is how it works, just like with multiplication. So to find a power of a quotient, find the power of the base, find the power of the numerator and the power of the denominator. And just simplify. So here we have 4/5 to the 3rd power. When we have 4/5 to the 3rd power, that power goes to the numerator as well as to the denominator. So 4 to the 3rd is 64, 5 to the 3rd is 125. There is no way to simplify, or there is no simplifying in that case. So I'm going to go ahead and do some examples up here, 1 through 6, and then you'll be asked to do some examples on your own, kind of like how you just did in the multiplication or exponents homework that you had last night. So 6 to the 5th divided by 6 to the 4th. All I'm going to do is do 6, 5 minus 4, that equals 6 to the 1st, but remember, that's just plain old 6. So -5 squared over -5 squared. 2, let's do this. All right, -5 to the 2 minus 2 would be -5 to the 0. And that's just going to simply be 1. Okay, remember, anything to 0 power is 1. So here we have 9 to the 4th times 9 to the 2nd, all divided by 9 to the 7th. The first thing we have to do is we have to add these exponents up here. So 4 plus 2, it's going to end up being 9 to the 6th divided by 9 to the 7th. And there we have 9 to the 6 minus 7, which is 9 to the -1st power. And remember, whenever we have it to a negative power, that's going to end up being 1 over 9. Okay? All right, let's take a look here. And if you need to, let's go back at number 3 and take a look at it a little bit closer. Let's think about this. We have 9 to the 6, so that'd be 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all over 9 to the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So now we do our canceling. 9 divided by 9, 1. 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 9 divided by 9 is 1. 9 divided by 9 is 1. I'm left with a 9 in the denominator. That's how I can have 1 over 9. Okay? That's how that works. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. First of all, I'm going to add my 2 and my 4 together. So again, I have 8 to the 6th over 8 to the 9th. 6 minus 9, 8, 6 minus 9. So I'd be 8 to the negative 3rd. And 8 to the 3rd. It's going to be 512, so we would have 1 over 512. All right, 1 over y to the 5th times y to the 3rd. Now, we need to remember that y to the 3rd is understood to be y over 1. Okay, so if we multiply this together, it ends up as y to the 3rd over y to the 5th. Then we simply subtract 3 minus 5. I'm going to get negative 2, so I get y to the negative 2nd, which would be 1 over 25. Remember that negative exponent puts that value in the denominator. Here I'm going to end up with, remember z over 7 is like z over 7 times 1. So it's going to be 7 minus 8, so let me rewrite that as z over 7 divided by z over 8. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. All right, z to the negative 1st, which equals 1 over z. All right, go ahead and try 7 through 12 on your own. Pause the video, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to this section. Okay, so now what we have is the second rule that we talked about. We talked about quotient of powers property, or I'm sorry, power of a quotient property. Okay, power of a quotient property. Now, here we do have a quotient. We have 2/3. All right, that's basically a division problem. We need to remember that. So when I have 2/3 to the second, I'm going to end up with 2 squared over 3 squared. Plain and simply, 2 squared is going to be 4 over 9, and there's absolutely no way to simplify that, so we're done. Next, I have negative 3 over y. So I have negative 3 to the 3rd over y to the 3rd. And basically that's just going to be negative 27 over y to the 3rd. And that's how we end up with that. All right, negative or 7/4 to the negative 3rd power. Now I kind of see this as a little fun, but I have 7. I'm going to rewrite it as 7 to the negative 3rd over 4 to the negative 3rd. Basically what this negative 3 is doing to us is it's flipping this equation all around. Okay, so it's going to end up as 4, because we can't have a negative exponent. So it's going to be 4 to the 3rd over 7 to the 3rd. And if you want, go ahead and try it out on your calculator. Do this. If we just think about our denominator, which is 4, okay, which is 1/4. 1/4 equals 0.25. Okay, we can all agree with that. On your calculator, what I want you to do is to put in 0.25, put your little caret button in there, and then punch in negative 3. You're going to end up getting an answer of, hopefully you're saying it right now, you should have gotten 64 as your answer. Okay, so what we're doing is this negative 3 just flips the entire fraction around. So we end up with 64, and then 7 to the 3rd is going to be 343. And there we go with that. Okay, So now number 4. Let's see here. I don't have a negative exponent, but I need to go ahead and I have negative 6x squared y all to the third all over 2xy to the third all to the third as well. So what I want to do is just use the property that we just learned last class. And so I'm going to start off with my negative 6 to the third. And I have negative 216. Remember, I've got to multiply my 2 and 3 together. So I have x to the third, excuse me, x to the sixth. I'm using some new math today, I think. And y to the third. Putting that all over, 2 to the third is 8. X to the third would be x to the third, because 1 times 3 is 3. And then that would be y to the ninth. We can go ahead and do some reducing. And let's see, 216, is that divisible? It is divisible by 8, so we would end up with 27. We can do some reducing here. Look, I can do 6 minus 3. So first thing I did is negative 216 divided by 8. I ended up with negative 27. So I'm taking my answer for number 4 and I'm putting it over here. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is take a look at my x's, okay? I'm going to do 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 is going to end up being x to the third. And then I have y to the third minus y to the 3 minus 9, which is going to be negative 6, or y to the negative sixth. Okay, but I can't have this negative exponent, so I need to rewrite it as negative 27x to the third all over y to the sixth. And that would be our final answer for number 4. I think it's pretty cool. So go ahead and try these bottom values, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and have fun with them. 8 is a really cool one. I would think you would enjoy it if you're in algebra. And good luck, and we'll talk about it next time we have class. Thank you.